Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha with Ice Cream Fitness here, and Bagpuss will be co-hosting this one with me today. And today it is time for part 4 of the Spotting a Fake Natural Bodybuilder series. Now, due to the amount of flack I've caught over this and potential lawsuits and everything, I have considered discontinuing this series. Because as a lot of you may or may not know, there is a possible lawsuit being threatened over part 3 of this series, but it will not stand in court. I've definitely researched it. It will either be thrown out of court if it goes, or it will go in my favor. But enough of you have demanded that I continue this series, and I'm going to keep doing it anyways. I'm just going to tread a little more lightly. But hold on, let me give you guys a bicep shot first. Okay, a lot of you would love for me to take and do pictures like I've done before, but such as taking someone like Bob Bitches, doctoring his pictures and putting them up there and using that as an example of a fake natty. But I've got to avoid doing that sort of thing, guys. And I can't stand there and call people out, or take someone like Professor Vinny D and show that he gained 20 pounds of muscle in a short period of time. Anything less than 1 year is a noob. I can't do that sort of thing either. So I'm just going to leave those alone, and I'm going to give you guys generic examples of something. And today I want to talk to you guys about natural growth rates. Now, I linked this same article in part 2, but I'm going to link it again down below. These are all experts in the field who've worked with a lot of athletes and a lot of actual natural bodybuilders. Some of these guys train them. And they've come up with what seems to be, based upon all available data, the limits of what can be gained in terms of muscle mass. And it seems to be that for a noob, 1 to 2 pounds of muscle per month seems to be the upper threshold, and for someone in their second year, 1/2 pound to 1 pound, and then after that, if you've exhausted those, you're not going to gain anywhere near 1 pound of muscle per month without drugs. And you'll see the exact same thing with bigger guys on drugs. You will find that guys on high doses of drugs who are already huge can't even gain 1 pound of muscle per month, because they get diminished returns also. So when you see someone who claims to have gained a given amount of muscle or a given amount of lean weight in a period of time, this is a dead giveaway. If you exclude their initial water weight gain, because when we bulk or cut, that first 5 to 10 pounds is going to be changes in water weight based upon muscle glycogen and other things. So that first 5 to 10 pounds, once you get through that in the first 2 to 3 weeks, if they continue to gain muscle at a certain rate, their body fat isn't going up, and they exceed what's on those charts, and sometimes even the upper thresholds, but they're not gaining any fat, or they're gaining that much body weight after that, and they're not getting fatter, or they gain a bunch of body weight, and then they come off of a lot of the gear and they drop the bloat that made them look like they were holding an extra 10% body fat than they were. Those people are on drugs if their growth rate for those months exceeded that. So for example, if someone has been training for 2 years really hard, their upper threshold is going to be maybe 1/2 pound of muscle per month, and that is if everything is perfect. And they gain, over the course of 3 months, they put on 15 pounds and they drop 10 of it really fast, but they keep 5 pounds and they look leaner than when they started the 4 months before. That means they ran a pretty heavy dose of drugs at that point, because someone at that level of training experience can't put on 4 or 5 pounds of muscle mass in 3 months. It can't be done. So if you see things like that in a more advanced lifter, or they've gained 10 pounds of solid muscle inside of a year, and they've been training hard longer than 2 years, again, they went on drugs to do that. So these are ways that you can pick these out. You can look at these charts, you can look at what the natural muscle growth rates are for people at different experience levels, and you can determine if they went on drugs or not to make their gain. And this is actually reasonably surefire, as long as you're accounting for changes in water weight. You're looking at just how much muscle they gained versus body fat. Because again, if they haven't gained a proportionate amount of fat and they've gained purely muscle over that time period after they're cut, and they trim back down to the same body fat they were or leaner, and they're still holding more pounds of body weight beyond what they started based upon that chart, then you know with certainty, no matter what they tell you, that they ran a bunch of gear. So, growth rates, regardless of your actual size, are an indicator of performance enhancing drug use. And those charts represent the natural limit. Now, I don't want to discourage my natural subscribers starting early on because they're going, well, that's not a lot, but you need to realize that if you start at 150 pounds and you look at those charts and you go, well, over 2 years, I'm probably only going to put 25 pounds of muscle on, but then you realize that that would put you at 175 pounds, and with the same fat, you're going to look leaner and you're going to have a lower body fat percentage. So you're going to be 25 pounds heavier, but look leaner than where you started. And that might sound like nothing because people are used to guys who are on large amounts of gear using as comparisons. But if you go to the shop next time, go look at 25 pounds of lean meat when you look at the packets of meat, such as chicken breast, steak, things like that, and just pile up and just pull 25 pounds together. And imagine that much extra meat being put over the proportion of your body, then you realize just how much muscle that actually is. Alright guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I and Bagpuss will talk to you next time.